Assuming you have a fraction like 1 on 2 to be divided by a fraction 2 on 3, you are directed to rewrite this fraction to be 1 on 2, then change this operation sign to be multiplication, then flip the second fraction, which is to invert it and multiply. That is to say, write it in the form 3 on 2, then you multiply the numerators and also multiply the denominators. That implies 1 by 3 to give us 3 and 2 by 2 to give us 4. But today we've been doing this for some time now, but we want to use the pictorial or fraction models to explain the concept for early grade learners. Good. So let's take advantage of the pictorial models or the illustrative approach to look at what we can do. So the fraction we have here is 1 out of 2, and that's we are dividing that 1 by 2 out of 3. To start with, first of all, let's make our model. So we draw our model. Now note that the first fraction is a fraction 1 out of 2, which means that it's half of whatever that we've been given. So vertically, we divide this region into 2 equal halves. Now note that this represents the 1 out of 2. One region represents 1 out of 2. One region represents 1 out of 2. Now, for the purpose of clarity, we will not shade first to select the region 1 out of 2, but rather wait until we have been able to represent the second fraction. Now, with the second fraction, because we chose vertical demarcation for the first fraction, we have to choose horizontal demarcation to form rows. So we divide the same region into 3 equal parts because the denominator is 3. Good. Don't mind my division because they are not equal. Now, it's for the purpose of illustration anyway. Now, at this end, we can then decide to do the shading. Now, remember that the red demarcation represents the first fraction, whereas the second demarcation or the green demarcation, that is in terms of rows and column, the rows represent the second fraction, that is this one. Sorry, the rows represent the second fraction, and the columns represents the first fraction. The next thing we do is just to do the marking. Now the first fraction is saying that 1 out of 2. So this whole region represents 1 out of the 2 demarcations. So we can decide to pick here, pick here because they are all demarcations, right? 1 out of the 2 demarcations of the columns. Let's go for the second one. In order not for us to be confused, let's choose a different shape or a different way of demarcating. Now remember that we have 3 rows. That is, this is the first row, second row, third row, out of which we will circle 2. So let's circle the first one. This is the first row. Let's circle the second one, the second row. Good. Now to get the answer from this illustration, what we do is that we count the horizontal representations, that is the horizontal demarcations, to be the numerator, and we count the number of ticks based on the vertical to be the numerator, and also count the horizontal or the rows to be the denominator. So looking at this area, realize that we have 1, 2, 3 of the regions that were counted for in terms of columns. So we write that as 3. That will be the numerator. Then we come and count the number of regions that is covered by the circles. Good. So we have first region, second region, third region, and fourth region. So we're making 4, which reads as 3 out of 4, which is equally representative of the invert and flip approach that we were taught in school. Let's quickly look at another example briefly. Assuming we have been given a fraction of 4 on 5, and that is to be divided by, let's say 3, that is to be divided by 3 on 4. Good. So like we said earlier, to be able to do this, we need to make a picture model of the fraction. So we make a picture model of the fraction. Note, we decide to use the first fraction to represent that with vertical lines. So it means we need 4 divisions in order to create 5 regions. So 4 divisions to create 5 regions. So 2, 3, and 4. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions. That's okay. So now we have to come to the second fraction. The second fraction, which will be represented horizontally, we need 4 divisions. Good. 4 divisions. So with 3 lines or 3 horizontal lines, we create 4 divisions. Good. So note, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 represent the denominator. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 represent the denominator. Now we are left with the shading. Note that what we have here, the 4 is what we are about to shade, but that one should be shaded vertically or in column wise. So picking this symbol, let's do the shading. So this is the first region, which means we have shaded 1 out of 5. This is the second region. This is the third region. And this is the fourth region. Good. Now let's go to the second fraction, which has 3 as the numerator. In view of that, remember that one took us the horizontal demarcation. So we have to divide or circle 3 of the regions. Sorry, let me change the color to make it more tangible. Let's go for red. Good. So this is the first region to be circled, second region to be circled, third region to be circled. And remember, the numerator is 3, so we need only 3 regions to be to go. Right, now we are left with the counting. Now in doing the counting, we count column wise to get our numerator, and count horizontal wise depending on where the regions the circle have covered to get our denominator. So let's count the column wise. Here we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the numerator should be 16. Then the denominator, counting that of where the circles have covered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good, so that one gives us 15. Now note that this is from our picture model. Let's try to use the invert and multiply, which is describing or telling us to use flip the second fraction and multiply it. Remember the question we have is 4 on 5, and that one is being divided by 3 on 4. Now note that you rewrite the full question again by maintaining the first fraction, which is 4 on 5, and then changing the operation sign to multiplication sign and flipping the second fraction, so that should be 4 on 3. Good. What we do next is to multiply. So the numerator will multiply numerator, whereas the denominator will also multiply the denominator. So the product of 4 and 4 should be 16. Then the product of 5 and 3 should be 15. So that brings us to a similar answer as we obtained here. I'm hopeful that this video will be very helpful for colleague mathematics teachers and early grade learners to be able to appreciate and understand the concept of division using picture models, while we move away from abstract way of understanding concept. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye for now.